Hi everybody, Karen Jones here. How are you today? Well, you know, I am very, very lucky because I got interviewed by a woman named Theresa Goss, and she has started this amazing series on Facebook called My Chapter and Verse. I wanted you to check out the interview that she had with me, and her whole style is really, really very, very cool. And if you go to her Facebook page, I put the link on my blog, you can check out her work. She's doing some amazing things with interviewing some really, really interesting people. And I'm not saying that to give myself a pat on the back, but I can honestly say it was an interview that allowed me to just totally relax and to say things that I didn't even really know were on my mind. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I advise you to go to her page every once in a while and listen to some of the people that she's talking to. People who are making a difference. People who are changing the world.
Creativity is the fruit that you keep going back to. Because it's always it nourishes your body, nourishes your mind, nourishes your spirit. When those creative juices aren't flowing, you might as well be dead, in my book. Okay? Now, culture, on the other hand, is something that needs to be nurtured consistently. And it's a constantly evolving thing. When I think of culture, I think of how I was raised and my roots. And then I also think of what I was exposed to in terms of, like, so you have your microcosm culture and then you have your macrocosm culture. And you're a part of all of that. So I think of both of them as being important to you discovering who you are and what it is that you'd like to create as your life and what it is that you would like to see around you. Now, there are certain things culturally that maybe are outdated from the macrocosm. Some things we can look back at and say, oh, that was interesting that our ancestors did that, and then say, well, we're not going to do that again. Those are the kind of things, they're cultural things that are like, okay, good to observe it, don't repeat it. And same thing for childhood. There are certain things in my childhood that were like, oh, God, I don't want to ever live that again, and I shouldn't, and I won't. So they're both, culture is important, and it's also important to honor the new, and to seek what gets your juices flowing, what gets that for lack of a better word, that orgasmic energy. And there are so many levels of that orgasmic energy. But if it's not there, really, you might as well just get rid of yourself. You're done. You're dead. You know, it's so interesting because when you're young and stupid, now I don't mean that in a derogatory way, and it's not to offend anybody. It's just that you're kind of like ignorant. You haven't lived, you haven't been out in the streets, you haven't jumped the hurdles or the walls yet. So there's like there's the fear of those things, number one, that you're creating in your head because it's all in your head. All of that stuff that says you can't do it. You can as easily say you can do it. It's just a matter of you telling yourself that you can. Because we grow up with a lot of other people's points of view about how we should live our lives and what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it and how you're supposed to stand up straight and you know, speak up, I can't hear you. And children should be seen and not heard. And there's all kinds of expressions like these that we grow up with that kind of form us or try to form us. But you have to discover for yourself. You've got to step out of the box. Because if you don't step out of the box, you will never discover. And even with all the mistakes, quote unquote mistakes, because they're not mistakes. They're just veering off the path a little bit here and there. And, you can veer off the path a lot. But if you follow your true, that inner voice, that part of you that knows that you have every right, that you have everything that it takes. You were given everything that it takes to be unique, to be yourself, to be someone in this world. You have everything it takes. Just like Joe Schmo. You have it. You have everything it takes. And don't buy into the lie, because people lie to you all the time. Don't buy the lie. Your voice has to be bigger than the lie. Don't buy it. There's a lot of crap that people buy, and you just can't buy it. Don't buy it crapco, okay? Step out of the box, and I promise you that you will love what you'll discover along the way. It's like wearing blinders, okay? So you've got these blinders. You've been told that you're not worth a dime. And this adversity happens, and it proves it. So you get proof. You see, I'm not worth a dime. And someone over here is coming to say, hey, why don't you come try this really great job that I have. You will love this job. You'd be perfect for it. But you got these blinders on because you don't think you're worth a dime, and you don't think that you have any value, because you've decided from something that your second grade teacher or your father or your mother said, and this is where you stay. You have to take off your blinders. You have to have the courage. You have to say, okay, look, what do you want your life to look like? What do you really want for your life? I speak with my hands. I lived in Italy for many years. And I love the Italians. They're very, very, very intense about that. And I'm using my hands even more so that you can see that this is a lie. And only you can do this. And until you say, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I have far greater value than I thought. But if you don't make a movement, some kind of action, and be the energy of what you want to be, then, like I said, you won't see it. It's going to come, because God is going to, or whoever you want to call it, God, the universe, Mother, Father, Goddess, whatever you want to call it, they are giving you all kinds of possibilities. But if you have decided that this is the only way you can look, then guess what? All those opportunities, they're flying by, and they keep flying by. But it doesn't end, because the universe is limitless, and they will continue to come. But if you don't open your eyes, I'm so sorry. You're going to stay where you are. After I graduated from college, I worked at Bank of Boston for like 9 months. And at the end of those 9 months, they offered me a job too, because I got the job because I wanted to save money, because I knew I was going to Italy. And then my dad gave me money too, so I was set. I just wanted to get out of there, right? And when I was at the bank, I remember telling people, well, I'm going to Italy, I'm leaving in a few months. I'm so excited. I was 22. And the lady's like, wow, I would love to do that, but I have to have my pension. And I was like, you're kidding me. I was 22. I was, like I was said, young and stupid and wonderfully stupid. And I just couldn't get that. I was like, you're not going to go and explore the world because you have to get your pension? Your pension? Really? And when I was young, I was like, no way. That is not going to be me. And to this day, I seek the creative. I think, and then, creative is also when I cook. Creative is also when I wash a dish. Creative energy is everywhere. It's constantly present. No matter what you do, even an accountant, to some degree, is creative. I hope that my audience takes with them the feeling or the awareness that everything's going to be okay. That they can laugh and they can dance and they can free themselves in the moment of the music with me, and that when everything's done, that feeling is going to be with them. And every time they need that feeling, they can get that feeling again, just by acknowledging that they have it. I think that would be the thing that I would want most for my audiences to have when they leave, is to know that everything's going to be okay, that sense of music, what music gives you is such a gift. Hi, I'm Karen Jones, and that's my chapter and verse.
Karen Jones, signing off.